I eat well, I don't smoke, I walk every morning. So why is my blood pressure still high? That was the question Mr. Walter, 71 years old, asked during his routine checkup at the start of the year. He's the perfect example of a by-the-book lifestyle. No alcohol, no late nights. He wakes up early, breathes in the fresh morning air, and prepares his own breakfast every day. A slice of white bread, a cup of black coffee, no sugar. Then he sits by the window, listening to bird song. Everything seems to be just right. But for the past 3 months, he's been feeling off, dizzy when standing up after sitting for a while. A strange tingling in his hands and feet. Breathing feels heavier, even without doing anything strenuous. His morning blood pressure readings, unstable, and sometimes climbing to 150, even though he takes his medication regularly. We took a closer look at his routine. Everything seemed fine, until we got to breakfast. Mr. Walter nodded slowly. Yeah, I've been eating like this for 20 years. White bread, coffee. I thought it was simple and light. And perhaps, like him, many older adults believe that a light, bland, minimal breakfast is the healthiest option. But the truth isn't so simple. The problem often isn't what we avoid. It's what we don't choose correctly, right from the start of the day. The wrong kind of breakfast, even one that seems healthy, can quietly disrupt blood pressure stability for the rest of the day. But just a few smart additions, at the right time, in the right way, can help your body respond with calmer, more balanced numbers. So what are the silent mistakes hidden in your breakfast plate? And which morning foods can become your natural defense against high blood pressure? Let's explore them together. Linda, 66 years old, is an elegant woman, always neat, always composed. She lives alone in a quiet apartment on the outskirts of town. Each morning, she starts her day with a few gentle yoga stretches, then makes herself a cup of hot coffee and reads the news. But she doesn't eat breakfast, not because she's busy, but simply because she doesn't feel hungry. My body is used to it, she told me. I only eat lunch and dinner. That's enough for me. At first, everything seemed fine, but recently, she began to notice changes. A slight dizziness when standing up, her heart racing more than usual when climbing the stairs. One morning, while watering her plants, she had to sit down. Her arms and legs felt weak and shaky. She began checking her blood pressure at home, and found it was all over the place, unusually low in the morning, then spiking sharply by midday. Linda was confused. She truly believed she was living a healthy lifestyle, but this happens to many older adults. Skipping breakfast, though it feels harmless, can silently put the body under stress. After a full night's fast, the body needs fuel to stabilize blood sugar and energy levels. Without it, the nervous system works overtime to keep the brain alert, which can trigger sympathetic overdrive. This can cause irregular blood pressure swings. Then, when lunch comes and the meal is rich in sugar and salt, blood pressure can spike suddenly and dangerously. The solution isn't complicated. You don't need a big breakfast, just something light but nourishing. A small bowl of soft-cooked oatmeal, a sprinkle of flax seeds, a few slices of ripe banana oats provide fiber that helps regulate blood pressure. Bananas offer potassium, a key mineral for blood vessel balance. Flax seeds are rich in omega-3s, supporting healthy circulation and reducing inflammation. Who should try this? Anyone who often feels tired in the morning, those with lightheadedness when standing, people with unstable blood pressure, despite taking medication, who should be cautious, individuals with diabetes should monitor the natural sugar in bananas. Those with kidney issues should consult their doctor before adding high potassium foods. After making the change, Linda started eating a small breakfast every day, just a little oatmeal and fruit. And after 3 weeks, she told me, "I feel more clear-headed. I don't get wobbly when I stand. And best of all, my blood pressure isn't bouncing around anymore." Sometimes the smallest morning shift is the key to steady rhythm for the entire day. George, 69 years old, used to take great pride in his self-managed lifestyle. After retiring, he took full control of his health by simplifying his meals. Every morning, he ate exactly 1 slice of white sandwich bread with a little low-sugar fruit jam. He'd add a glass of apple juice or a small bowl of instant cereal. And that was it. A clean, oil-free, low-salt breakfast. What could possibly be wrong with that? He had truly believed. But within a few months, subtle changes started creeping in. His morning blood pressure readings were consistently higher, even though he was taking his medication on time. He felt a mild racing heartbeat about an hour after breakfast. Sometimes, while reading the newspaper, he noticed a flutter in his chest, even though he was completely still. He couldn't figure it out. His doctor confirmed there was no major issue, so we revisited each part of his daily routine and found an unexpected culprit. A breakfast loaded with refined carbohydrates, white bread, sweetened cereal, packaged fruit juice, all have high glycemic indexes. That means they're absorbed quickly, spiking blood sugar and insulin. This sudden surge can leave the body feeling drained after eating and also stimulate the nervous system, causing blood pressure to rise slightly, yet persistently. That's the hidden loop George had been stuck in each morning. The fix? Not to cut breakfast out, but to choose better swaps. White bread, whole grain or rye bread, sugary jam, half an avocado or a soft-boiled egg, juice, a warm glass of water or light cucumber water. Who should try this? Those with high blood pressure or unstable blood sugar. Anyone who feels tired or drowsy after breakfast. Who should be cautious? People with gastritis or ulcers may need softer breads that are easier to digest. Those following special diets should choose breads aligned with their nutritional needs. George gave it a try. For 2 weeks, he switched to whole grain bread, a boiled egg, and half an avocado. He called it the most refreshing breakfast I've had since retiring. And the results? His blood pressure readings became more stable. No more post-meal jitters or fatigue. Sometimes it's not how much you eat. It's what you choose first. That makes all the difference. Mrs. Teresa, 74 years old, lives with her son and grandson. Despite her age, she still carries a gentle grace and a kind, peaceful face. Every morning, she personally prepares breakfast for the family, simple but thoughtful. A small bowl of rice, some braised fish, a few slices of pan-fried egg, balanced and not overly oily. But one thing was almost completely missing from her breakfast plate: vegetables. Not because she disliked them, but because she believed vegetables are for lunch or dinner. Breakfast should be quick and light. Still, in recent months, she started noticing strange symptoms, a constant bloated feeling, sometimes going 2 or 3 days without a bowel movement, and more importantly, her morning blood pressure readings were higher, even when they were normal the night before. Her doctor couldn't find any major issue, but after reviewing her daily meals, one small detail stood out: a lack of vegetables in the morning, leading to low fiber and low potassium. Fiber isn't just for digestion. It helps slow the absorption of sugar and salt, supports a steady heart rhythm, and contributes to balanced blood pressure. Potassium, found in leafy greens and vegetables, is a natural counterbalance to sodium. When your body has enough potassium, it can flush out excess salt more easily, helping blood vessels relax and blood pressure come down naturally. The solution is simple. Just add a small serving of vegetables to your breakfast, a small bowl of cooked leafy green soup, a few slices of tomato or cucumber, or a handful of boiled vegetables alongside eggs or rice. Who should consider this? Anyone dealing with constipation, those who have high blood pressure in the morning, people with low activity levels, or who don't drink enough water. Who should be cautious? Individuals with serious digestive issues should stick to soft, well-cooked vegetables. Avoid raw veggies if your immune system is weak. After a few weeks of change, Teresa said she felt lighter and more comfortable in her body. Her digestion became regular. Mornings felt more pleasant, and her blood pressure became more stable without needing a higher medication dose. All from a simple shift, adding vegetables, sometimes adding a touch of green to your morning, might be the key to feeling more balanced and at peace all day long. Part 2, mistake number 4. Not drinking enough water before breakfast. Mr. Lewis, 76 years old, is the definition of discipline and routine. After 40 years in the engineering field, he lived by the clock, strict with his schedule, never late for anything, including his own self-care. Every morning he woke up at exactly 6 a.m., read the newspaper for 30 minutes, and had breakfast with a strong cup of black coffee. But for the past 30 years, one thing had stayed consistent. He never drank a single sip of plain water in the morning. "Coffee is enough. I'm not thirsty," he'd laugh. Everything seemed fine. Until recently, something strange started happening. Each time he stood up after breakfast, he felt a brief wave of dizziness. His hands and feet were sometimes cold. When he measured his blood pressure, it was unusually low in the morning, but then spiked just a few hours later. He thought it was just part of aging, but his doctor pointed to something he had never considered: dehydration in the early morning. While we sleep, our body loses fluid through breath and sweat. If we don't replenish that water when we wake up, the blood can become slightly thicker. That means the heart has to pump harder, and this can cause fluctuations in morning blood pressure. Coffee doesn't count as hydration. In fact, coffee has a mild diuretic effect, which can lead to even more water loss if not balanced. The fix is simple. As soon as you wake up, drink a glass of warm water, about 200–250 ml. Add a few slices of cucumber or drops of lemon if you enjoy a refreshing taste. Wait 15 to 20 minutes before having coffee or breakfast. Who should try this? Those who feel lightheaded or sluggish in the morning. People with unstable blood pressure, especially those who experience shifts between morning and midday, who should be cautious. People with heart or kidney conditions should follow medical advice regarding fluid intake. Avoid drinking too much at once which may cause bloating or frequent urination. Since starting this habit, Mr. Lewis noticed something surprising. His mind felt clearer. He no longer felt dizzy when standing up, and his blood pressure readings were more stable each morning. One glass of water may seem small, but it might just be the gentlest way to jump-start your heart each day. Part 2. Mistake. Number 5. Eating salty breakfasts. Mr. Paul, 72 years old, lives in a peaceful countryside home with his wife. Every morning, he personally prepares breakfast, partly out of love and partly to preserve the flavors of his childhood. His breakfast often includes a small bowl of leftover rice with fish sauce mixed with lime and chili, a crispy fried egg, and sometimes a few slices of pickled mustard greens. "I've eaten this way since I was a boy. Never had a problem," he'd say proudly. But recently, something started to shift. After breakfast, he began feeling warm and flushed. Some mornings, while drinking tea, he had to lean back, his heart beating faster than usual. His blood pressure in the morning was consistently higher than at night, even though he took his medication as prescribed. During a consultation, we talked it through, and Mr. Paul realized the issue wasn't something dramatic. It was hidden in the fish sauce he used every morning. Salt, or more specifically, sodium, is one of the strongest influences of blood pressure. When we consume too much sodium, the body holds on to extra water to dilute it in the blood. This increases blood volume, makes blood vessels work harder, and forces the heart to pump more vigorously. This is especially risky for older adults whose fluid regulation systems are already slowing down. And what's dangerous is this: even simple foods like fish sauce, pickled veggies, or salty cheeses can contain surprisingly high levels of sodium. The solution isn't to remove everything, but to adjust the morning flavor profile. Swap fish sauce for low-sodium soy sauce or a light garlic ginger dressing. Replace fried salty eggs with boiled or steamed eggs. Add boiled vegetables and low-sugar fruits to the plate. If eating rice, pair it with steamed tofu or lightly seasoned fish instead of salty stews. Who should try this? Anyone with high blood pressure or taking blood pressure meds. People with a history of heart disease or stroke who should be cautious. Those who are medically required to consume sodium, such as after sodium loss, should consult their doctor before adjusting salt intake. After gradually changing his meals, Mr. Paul transitioned to a lighter breakfast: rice with steamed tofu, vegetables, and fruit. At first he missed the bold flavors, but after 3 weeks he said, "I feel lighter. My blood pressure no longer bounces up and down in the mornings. Instead of seasoning your food heavily, try softening the flavor, so your heart can rest a little easier each morning." Part 2. Mistake number 6. Not eating enough protein. In the morning, Mr. Albert, 68 years old, lives a very structured and meticulous life. He used to be a math teacher, so everything in his world had to be reasonable and just enough. His breakfast reflected that philosophy: a bowl of thin rice porridge made with just a bit of white rice, a spoonful of sweetened condensed milk, and a diluted glass of soy milk. He believed that eating light made digestion easier, kept him from feeling heavy, and most importantly, helped avoid weight gain. And for many years that routine seemed to work fine, until, slowly, odd symptoms began to appear. He often felt tired in the mornings, even before doing anything. He'd feel hungry again within 2 hours of breakfast, and more importantly, his blood pressure became unpredictable. Sometimes too low, sometimes higher than normal, despite taking medication consistently. During a visit, his doctor reviewed his diet in detail, and one missing element stood out: protein, a small omission, with big consequences. Protein isn't just for building muscles. It plays a vital role in hormone regulation, blood sugar stability, and especially in supporting healthy blood vessel function. Without enough protein, the body lacks key building blocks to maintain blood pressure balance, which can lead to morning BP fluctuations, especially after a hollow breakfast. The fix: simple and gentle. Add a boiled egg, a piece of steamed tofu, some soft-cooked fish, or a serving of low-sugar Greek yogurt. You can also mix chia seeds or crushed walnuts into your morning oats for added protein and healthy fats. Who should consider this? People who feel tired quickly or get hungry soon after breakfast. Those with unstable blood pressure or mild morning dips. Who should be cautious? Individuals with kidney disease should monitor their protein intake and consult a doctor. If you have high cholesterol, choose lean and easily digestible protein sources. After adjusting his routine, Mr. Albert began having breakfast with boiled eggs, whole grain toast, and steamed vegetables. Within just 2 weeks, he shared, "Not only is my blood pressure more stable, I feel more alert and energized all morning." A bit of protein in the morning can be the foundation your heart relies on for strength throughout the day. Part 2. Mistake number 7. Eating fruit, but choosing the wrong kind. Mrs. Margaret, 70 years old, always believed she followed a very scientific diet. Every morning, she avoided bread, rice, meat, or eggs. Instead, she prepared a full plate of fruit: red grapes, ripe mango, slices of watermelon, and a glass of freshly squeezed orange juice. "Fruit is healthy, full of vitamins. How could that ever be wrong?" she would often say. But then she began noticing some unusual signs. About an hour after breakfast, she'd feel slightly queasy. One morning, while reading, a wave of palpitations came over her. Her heart beating faster than usual. She measured her blood pressure. And it was significantly higher than the night before. At first, she blamed age or weather, but after keeping a food journal and sharing it with her doctor, the issue became clear. Her breakfast was overloaded with natural sugars from high glycemic fruits. While fruit is indeed healthy, not all fruits are ideal for those managing blood pressure. Grapes, mangoes, watermelon, and orange juice all have high glycemic indexes. They cause a rapid spike in blood sugar, triggering insulin release, which can influence both heart rate and blood pressure. If this pattern repeats daily, the body enters a dangerous cycle of spike, crash, fluctuate, a serious risk for older adults. The fix isn't to avoid fruit, but to choose the right kind and the right amount. Better choices: moderately ripe bananas, cucumbers, green apples, avocado, blueberries, or chia seeds soaked in diluted juice. Avoid bottled juices, even those labeled "no sugar added." Limit 1 to 2 types of fruit per meal in moderate portions. Who should follow this? Those with high blood pressure or prediabetes. Anyone who feels their heart racing or feels sleepy after eating fruit in the morning. Who should be careful? People taking diuretics may need proper potassium through fruit. Those with constipation should focus on high-fiber fruits like apples, pears, or kiwi After adjusting her breakfast, Mrs. Margaret switched to half an avocado on whole grain toast with a few slices of green apple. Just a few days later, the morning palpitations were gone. She smiled and said, "Turns out, not all fruit is automatically good. It has to be the right kind for me. Morning is the beginning of the whole day, and choosing the right fruit is like choosing the right path toward better health." Part 3, Conclusion. Call to action. Plus medical reminder, high blood pressure. Doesn't show up in just one day. It's not caused by a single salty meal or a restless night of sleep. It builds quietly from small habits repeated day after day. A bowl of rice with fish sauce in the morning, a slice of white bread that seems harmless, a glass of water that gets skipped every time you wake up. On their own, these habits might not seem like a problem, but when they're repeated, when they pile up, they can slowly push your blood pressure beyond the safe zone. The good news, you don't need a major life overhaul. You don't need to throw out your entire diet. You don't need extreme restrictions. You just need to start with breakfast. Choose what's right. Choose what's kind to your body. A boiled egg, a bowl of oats with chia seeds, a glass of warm water after waking up. These things are small, but steady, and your body will thank you. Not with words, but with blood pressure numbers that feel more balanced, day after day. Now it's your turn. Which of the 7 morning mistakes do you relate to the most? Leave a comment below. Let's learn together. Not just for ourselves, but for everyone in this community. If you found this video helpful, don't hesitate to share it with someone you love, because chances are they might also be repeating harmless habits every day without knowing their long-term effects. And lastly, a gentle medical reminder. This video is for informational and educational purposes only. If you're experiencing symptoms like dizziness, rapid heartbeat, or uncontrolled high blood pressure, please visit a healthcare provider for a full checkup and professional advice. Your health journey doesn't begin at the hospital. It begins right here, in your own kitchen, with the small choices you make for yourself each morning. I'm Dr. Eli. See you in the next video, and take care of your heart, starting with tomorrow's breakfast.